Hello there, and welcome to the Sleepy Science Channel. Tonight, we're going to drift into one of the most intimate wonders of life itself, breathing. It is so ordinary we rarely notice it, yet so miraculous that every inhale carries the memory of ancient forests, ocean tides, and the stars that made our air. Each breath is a conversation between your body and the universe, a timeless exchange of elements that have cycled through every living being to ever exist. As we explore the hidden science of breath, we'll wander from the lungs to the oceans, from the roots of trees to the edges of space, discovering how every inhale connects us to everything that ever lived and everything still to come. If you enjoy these quiet journeys, I invite you to like, subscribe, or share a thought below. It helps others find their way here too, one sleepy soul at a time. For now, just breathe. Let your eyes grow heavy, and let the rhythm of the air cradle your thoughts. Slow, steady, and free. Let's begin. Breathing is the only bodily function you can control both consciously and unconsciously. It happens without thought, a quiet pulse of air rising and falling like the tides within you. Yet at any moment, you can reach inward and take the reins. You can deepen it, slow it, hold it still, or let it sigh away. Breathing is the bridge between your automatic self and your aware self, a doorway to calm, to focus, to life itself. Your brainstem keeps it steady, even as you sleep. But the moment you notice it, other regions of your brain awaken. The act becomes artful. Through breath, we can influence heartbeat, temperature, emotion, even perception. It's the thread that ties the ancient instincts of survival to the conscious act of living. No other bodily rhythm grants such quiet power. In every inhale and exhale, you hold a meeting point between will and wonder, your body's oldest conversation with life. The air you exhale today may be inhaled on the other side of the world next week. Each time you breathe out, invisible clouds of carbon dioxide and water vapor drift into the open air, merging with the great currents that circle the globe. Within days, your exhaled atoms may ride the wind across mountains, deserts, and oceans. A breath released in the stillness of night might someday rise over coral reefs, pass through the canopy of an Amazonian tree, or into the lungs of a bird in flight. The molecules of life are endlessly shared, cycling through lungs, leaves, and seas. Our atmosphere is a vast, mixing ocean of air, stirred by sunlight and storm, connecting every living thing in a single, ceaseless respiration. When you breathe, you're part of an ancient exchange that began billions of years ago and will continue long after we're gone, an eternal conversation carried by the wind. Every breath you take connects you to every living thing that has ever lived. The air that fills your lungs is ancient beyond imagination. Each molecule of oxygen, nitrogen, and carbon dioxide has been exhaled countless times, by forests, by oceans, by creatures long extinct. Some of the same atoms once passed through the gills of trilobites, the lungs of dinosaurs, the leaves of primeval ferns. Every inhale gathers fragments of history, drifting ghosts of breath from everything that ever lived beneath the sun. The act of breathing is not just survival, it is participation in the memory of the world. Our bodies are constantly exchanging the same air that sustained our ancestors. When you breathe out, you add your story to that invisible inheritance, returning your atoms to the endless cycle. It is a quiet truth. Life does not merely occupy the planet, it circulates through it, one shared breath at a time. The average person takes more than 20,000 breaths each day. Without noticing, you spend your life drawing in and letting go, again and again, around 20,000 times in a single day. Each breath lasts only a few seconds, Yet across a lifetime, they add up to hundreds of millions of delicate exchanges. Everyone nourishes the body with oxygen and carries away carbon dioxide, maintaining the fragile chemistry that keeps you alive. In sleep, the rhythm slows into serenity in laughter or fear. It quickens to match emotion. Your breathing never ceases its quiet work, sculpting the moment-to-moment balance that allows thought, movement, and rest. It is a silent clock, ticking within your chest. Every rise and fall of your lungs is a whisper of time, a reminder that life is measured not just in heartbeats, but in the steady, unseen pulse of air that moves through you endlessly. Your lungs are not identical. One is smaller, to make room for your heart. Hidden behind your ribs, the two lungs are shaped by the geography of your own anatomy. The right lung is broad and divided into 3 lobes, while the left lung, slightly smaller, has only 2, leaving a space carved out for the heart. They rest together like twin oceans, one curving gently around the rhythm of life's center. Every breath you take fills these paired chambers with invisible tides, drawing air deep into millions of branching passages. Though asymmetrical, they work in perfect harmony, expanding and contracting in graceful unison. This quiet imbalance is what allows your heart to beat freely, embraced by air on one side and muscle on the other. In this design, nature leaves a soft reminder. Even within the body, balance doesn't always mean symmetry. Sometimes, life makes room for the things that matter most. Every inhale you take is a tiny act of cosmic recycling. The oxygen entering your lungs this moment may once have flowed through the leaves of ancient forests or drifted in the skies above long-lost oceans. It could have been part of a glacier, a breath of an animal, or even trapped inside the bubbles of an extinct coral reef. Our planet is a master recycler. Nothing here is truly new. The air you draw in has been traveling for billions of years, born from the same stellar material that formed the Earth itself. Stars created the oxygen through nuclear fusion, scattering it into space long before life existed. Now, it moves through you, a borrowed breath from the cosmos. You inhale the gift of creation, and with every exhale, return it gently to the endless circulation of life. Every breath is both ancient and immediate, belonging to the universe as much as to you. Oxygen makes up only 1/5 of the air around you. Though oxygen sustains nearly every breath of life, it is only a small portion of what surrounds you. Most of the atmosphere is nitrogen, silent and invisible, forming a vast cushion that carries our weather and softens the sun's fierce light. Oxygen's fraction, roughly 1 part in 5, is enough to fuel fire, metabolism, and motion, but too much would make the world dangerously unstable. Lightning, combustion, even decay would rage unchecked. Nature, in its quiet wisdom, found balance in this delicate mixture. Just enough oxygen for life to thrive, yet not enough for the planet to burn. Every inhale you take carries that perfect harmony, a balance struck over millions of years of evolution and chance. The air you breathe is not just oxygen. It is the precise equilibrium that allows life to exist at all. You are breathing the ghosts of ancient forests. Long before humans appeared, ancient plants filled the sky with oxygen. Gigantic ferns, mosses, and towering trees once covered the earth, exhaling into the growing atmosphere. The very air you draw now carries the legacy of those green ancestors, their chemical breath still mingled with ours. Each molecule of oxygen is a fossil in motion, created by photosynthesis ages ago and recycled endlessly ever since. When you inhale, you take in the whispers of vanished forests that once shaded giant dragonflies and the first amphibians. Their breath became the foundation of your own. The carbon you release feeds today's leaves, and their exhalations will one day return to future beings. It is a circle of life so vast that every breath you take is both a memory and a promise, the quiet continuation of a story written in air. The oxygen in your lungs was forged in the hearts of long-dead stars. Billions of years ago, before Earth existed, massive stars burned hydrogen into helium, helium into carbon, and carbon into oxygen, the element that now sustains you. When those stars died, they exploded, scattering their enriched cores across the cosmos. Dust and gas coalesced, forming new suns, planets, and eventually, you. The oxygen you breathe today was born in that stellar fire, a relic of creation carried across light years of time. When you inhale, you draw in the residue of galaxies, the ashes of suns that lived and perished before our world began. Every breath ties you back to that cosmic lineage, a living continuation of something that started in the dark heart of a collapsing star. To breathe is to participate in the ancient cycle of the universe itself: creation, transformation, and return. You exhale more than 2 pounds of carbon dioxide each day. Each breath out carries more than just invisible air. It carries the byproduct of your body's quiet chemistry, carbon dioxide, born from every cell's constant work. Across a single day, those exhalations add up to more than 2 pounds of matter, leaving your body as vapor and gas. You don't see it, but it's real. The physical evidence of life converting food and oxygen into motion, thought, and warmth. The carbon atoms you release might drift through the wind, dissolve into the sea, or be caught by a leaf and turned back into oxygen again. With every exhale, you contribute to the global cycle of exchange that connects all breathing things. What you let go becomes nourishment for something else. Each breath out is a quiet offering, proof that life sustains itself through the endless act of giving and release. Most of the air you breathe is invisible nitrogen. The atmosphere that wraps around our planet is not mostly oxygen, as many imagine. Nearly 4 parts out of 5 are nitrogen, a quiet and inert companion that drifts unseen through every breath you take. It does not burn nor feed the fire of life directly, yet its presence is essential. Nitrogen steadies the air, diluting oxygen to a level that allows life to flourish instead of combust. It cushions each inhalation, softens the chemistry of our world, and gives balance to every lungful of air. From ocean depths to mountain peaks, nitrogen surrounds us, silent and still, moving endlessly through the cycle of life and decay. Even the green leaves that release oxygen depend on nitrogen in the soil to grow. Without this invisible guardian, breathing would be too fierce for the fragile rhythms of life to endure. The sound of your breath changes with your emotions. Every feeling you experience leaves an echo in your breath. When fear sharpens, the air rushes faster and shallower. When calm settles in, each inhale stretches long and slow, like a tide smoothing over sand. The shape of your breathing changes subtly with laughter, sorrow, curiosity, or awe. Scientists have found that emotions alter airflow and tension in the throat and chest, creating faint acoustic fingerprints that can be measured. The whisper of the lungs, the hush of an exhale, even the pauses between breaths, all mirror what the heart feels. To listen to someone breathe is to glimpse their inner weather, shifting from storm to stillness. In this quiet rhythm, emotion becomes sound without words, a language the body speaks naturally. Every sigh, every gasp, every steady breath tells the story of a moment lived and felt, gently carried on air. Your breathing patterns shift while you dream. When the body slips into dreaming, breath takes on its own mysterious rhythm. During the deeper phases of sleep, The lungs move in slow, even waves, calm and predictable. But when dreams begin, everything changes. The brain stirs, the eyes flicker beneath closed lids, and the breath becomes erratic, rising and falling with the vivid landscapes of the mind. Scientists studying sleeping volunteers have watched how a sudden chase or a joyful reunion in a dream can quicken the breathing, while peaceful visions slow it again. Even though you lie motionless, your breath dances with the story unfolding inside you. It is as though your lungs are listening, following the pulse of an invisible narrative. Long before morning, your breath has already traveled through worlds of its own creation, keeping time with your dreaming heart. You breathe faster when you look at bright light. The simple act of stepping into sunlight can subtly quicken your breath. Bright light stimulates the brain's alert centers, awakening circuits that govern arousal, attention, and energy. As your pupils narrow to meet the glare, tiny signals ripple through the nervous system, nudging the heart and lungs to become slightly more active. The body, sensing daytime, prepares for movement and engagement with the world. The effect is so delicate you may never notice it, yet it is measurable. Light itself can lift respiration. In contrast, dim or fading light calms the same systems, slowing the rhythm back toward rest. This connection between brightness and breath links biology with the planet's oldest cycle, the turning of day and night. Each sunrise stirs the lungs a little faster, whispering to every creature that the world is waking once more. Even a single breath can alter your heart rhythm. Your heart and lungs share an intimate conversation, each responding to the other's rhythm. As you inhale, your heart momentarily speeds up. As you exhale, it slows down again. This natural pattern is called respiratory sinus arrhythmia, and it's a sign of a healthy, flexible nervous system. It means that even a single breath can shift the pace of your heartbeat. The change is subtle, felt more as harmony than as motion, a graceful duet between breath and blood. Deep breathing enhances the effect, bathing the body in calm as the heart follows the slower cadence of the lungs. This synchrony allows your system to adapt instantly to emotion, movement, or rest. Within every rise and fall of your chest, your heart listens and answers, keeping time with the invisible music of the breath that sustains you. Ancient trees once filled the sky with oxygen you still inhale today. Long before human lungs ever drew air, forests covered the planet with green oceans of life. Towering tree ferns, primitive conifers, and colossal lycopods turned sunlight into oxygen, exhaling it into an atmosphere still raw from volcanic birth. The oxygen they released became part of the world's permanent inheritance, a reservoir that endures in every breath you take today. Those trees are gone, their wood pressed into coal and stone, yet their breath lingers in the air itself. The molecules of oxygen they made have drifted across ages, through countless generations of life, unchanged and eternal. To breathe is to share in the legacy of those forests, to draw into your body a gift from worlds long vanished. Even now, their invisible presence surrounds you, woven into the gentle rhythm that began when Earth first learned to breathe. Deep breathing can literally cool the temperature of your brain. When you slow your breathing and take deep, steady inhales, you do more than calm your thoughts. The process of drawing cool air through the nasal passages and releasing it slowly helps regulate the temperature of the brain. Each breath acts as a subtle exchange system, carrying away heat produced by the body's ceaseless metabolism. This effect is why meditative breathing can leave you feeling refreshed and clear-headed. The movement of air also alters blood flow to the brain, fine-tuning the balance between warmth and oxygenation. Ancient practices like yoga and pranayama discovered this link long before science confirmed it. Calm breath cools the mind. In moments of tension or heat, the body's own rhythm offers a quiet solution. You need only to inhale slowly, feel the air glide through, and let the breeze inside you restore equilibrium. A yawn is your brain's way of taking a deep breath. When you yawn, your body performs one of its simplest and most mysterious acts. The wide opening of the mouth, the long involuntary inhale, and the slow sigh afterward all serve a hidden purpose: cooling and oxygenating the brain. Scientists believe yawning helps regulate temperature and circulation, especially when the mind grows tired or overheated. It stretches the muscles of the face and lungs, refreshing both body and mind. Yawning also appears contagious because the human brain is wired for empathy. Seeing someone else yawn can trigger your own body's need to reset. It is an ancient reflex found in nearly all vertebrates, from fish to birds to humans. Each yawn is like the brain's version of a reset button, drawing in a deep, revitalizing breath that steadies the rhythm of thought and returns calm to the nervous system. Holding your breath triggers ancient reflexes from our aquatic past. The moment you stop breathing, something ancient awakens within you. Sensors in the face and lungs signal the brain to conserve oxygen, slowing the heartbeat and rerouting blood toward vital organs. This automatic response is part of what divers call the mammalian dive reflex, a remnant of our shared ancestry with sea-dwelling creatures. Seals, otters, and even whales rely on it to survive long dives, but humans still carry the same mechanism deep within. It activates when cold water touches the skin, or when breath is held for more than a moment. Though we no longer live in the ocean, this reflex reminds us that our bodies remember what it was like. Each held breath reawakens that ancient relationship between water and life, a subtle echo of a time when breathing itself was a choice between two worlds. Dolphins sleep by letting half their brain breathe at a time. To live in the sea and still breathe air requires an extraordinary adaptation. Dolphins, unlike fish, must surface to inhale, yet they also need to rest. Their solution is remarkable. One hemisphere of the brain sleeps while the other stays awake, controlling movement and breathing. This half-and-half slumber allows them to float near the surface, rising periodically to take slow, deliberate breaths without waking fully. The alert half watches for danger, while the sleeping half restores and dreams. After a time, they switch sides, letting the other half drift into rest. It is a form of living balance where consciousness and instinct share the same body in shifts. This delicate coordination keeps dolphins alive in a world that never truly sleeps. Each breath a soft reminder that rest and awareness can coexist, perfectly in tune with the rhythm of the sea. The air inside your lungs never fully empties. Even when you breathe out as deeply as you can, some air always remains inside. This residual volume keeps the delicate air sacs open and prevents your lungs from collapsing. The air that lingers serves as a buffer, ensuring that oxygen exchange never fully stops, even between breaths. Inside the chest, a small, quiet reservoir of air stays in motion, mixing with every new inhale. This hidden pocket is part of what makes breathing so effortless. It smooths the transitions between exhalation and inhalation, keeping the rhythm unbroken. If the lungs emptied completely, breathing would become laborious, each breath a restart rather than a continuation. Instead, nature designed a gentle overlap, a continuous tide that never fully retreats. With every breath, you carry a small portion of your past air with you, a lingering echo of the breaths that came before. Each lung contains about 400 million tiny air sacs. Deep within your lungs are millions of microscopic chambers called alveoli. each one a tiny pocket where air and blood meet. Together they create an immense surface area, roughly the size of a tennis court, folded neatly into your chest. Through the thin walls of these air sacs, oxygen slips into the bloodstream while carbon dioxide escapes in return. The process happens silently, effortlessly, thousands of times each minute. These fragile sacs are kept open by a thin film of fluid and the steady rhythm of breathing. If you could see them, they would shimmer like dew, each one a glimmering gateway between the body and the atmosphere. It is here, in these quiet spaces, that life is renewed moment by moment. Every breath you take depends on these countless, unseen miracles, working in perfect harmony. Spread out, your lungs would cover a tennis court. The surface inside your lungs is far larger than it appears. If unfolded and laid flat, the tissue would stretch across an area roughly equal to a tennis court. This vastness exists to maximize gas exchange, giving oxygen and carbon dioxide every opportunity to cross between air and blood. Each breath fills this hidden landscape, a soft terrain of branching passages and delicate membranes. Within this internal forest, air moves like wind through leaves, touching every corner of the body's most vital interface. The design is breathtaking in its efficiency, a cathedral of living tissue built for quiet exchange. Though it all fits easily within your chest, the reach of your lungs extends across a field of space, connecting every cell in your body to the wide and open sky beyond. Your lungs float in water. They are the only organs that do. If placed in water, your lungs would rise gently to the surface. Their honeycomb of air-filled spaces makes them the only organs in the human body capable of floating. This buoyancy is part of what allows you to swim and stay afloat, as air within the lungs lightens the body's density. It's a delicate balance. Too much air, and you rise uncontrollably; too little, and you sink. In this way, breathing becomes a means of adjusting your relationship with gravity itself. The lungs are not just organs of gas exchange, they are instruments of equilibrium, mediating between air and water, weight and lift. The fact that they float is a quiet reminder of their purpose: to hold life's breath lightly, to carry us between worlds, and to keep the boundary between body and atmosphere forever fluid. When you breathe, you create tiny sound waves that travel through your body. Each breath generates minute vibrations, subtle ripples of air pressure that resonate within the chest and throat. These sound waves, though too soft to hear consciously, travel through tissues and bones, influencing everything from the rhythm of the heart to the tone of the voice. Scientists can measure these internal sounds to learn about lung health, airflow, and even emotion. The body, in its quiet way, becomes a musical instrument, playing a psalm of life with every inhale and exhale. The hum of the lungs and the whisper of air through the trachea form part of an inner symphony that never stops. Even when you are still and silent, your body is filled with music, the deep vibration of breath echoing softly through your own living architecture. Your breath changes the electrical activity of your brain. Each time you inhale, your brain subtly shifts. Electrical signals ripple differently during breathing in than during breathing out, altering perception, attention, and emotion. This connection between air and awareness is so strong that simply breathing through the nose can heighten alertness and memory by synchronizing activity in the hippocampus and amygdala. When the breath slows, these same regions quiet, fostering peace and clarity. In this way, the rhythm of breathing becomes a hidden conductor for the mind's orchestra, coordinating thought and feeling. Long before modern science, meditation and prayer relied on this bond, using breath to steer consciousness toward calm. Your brain is not separate from your breath. It moves in harmony with it, pulsing with every inhale and softening with every exhale, a dance of electricity guided by the simple act of living. Ancient yogis could slow their heartbeats to almost nothing through breath control. For thousands of years, practitioners of deep meditation have used breath as a tool to master the body's internal rhythms. Yogis learned that by slowing respiration, they could influence the heart, reducing its pulse to astonishingly low rates. Some could sit motionless for hours, their breath so faint it seemed to vanish, their hearts beating only a handful of times each minute. Modern science confirms that deliberate breathing activates the vagus nerve, calming the nervous system and reducing metabolic demand. It is a biological miracle achieved through patience and focus, proof that consciousness can shape even the most automatic functions. The ancient masters discovered what researchers now study. Within each breath lies the power to rewrite the body's tempo, to quiet the storm within, and to reveal how intimately mind and biology intertwine. The act of breathing once powered primitive organs in ancient fish. Long before lungs existed, early fish evolved simple pouches along their digestive tracts that trapped air. These air sacs, used for buoyancy and later for respiration, became the ancestors of the lungs found in modern animals. Over millions of years, some species adapted them for oxygen exchange, allowing life to venture onto land. Each breath you take echoes that evolutionary story. The same mechanism that once helped fish hover in water now sustains mammals on Earth's surface. The transformation from swim bladder to lung marks one of evolution's most remarkable transitions, bridging two worlds. Breathing, in a sense, began as floating. The air you draw today is part of a legacy stretching back to those ancient seas, where life first learned to hold the sky inside its body. Some turtles can breathe through their rear ends. During the cold of winter, certain freshwater turtles survive months trapped beneath frozen ponds without surfacing for air. They achieve this through a remarkable adaptation called cloacal respiration, absorbing oxygen directly through blood vessels in the lining of their rear openings. This unusual method allows them to draw in just enough oxygen from the water to keep their metabolism running at a whisper. It is a quiet endurance, life pared down to its simplest form. When spring returns and the ice melts, they rise again to breathe normally. This strange yet elegant system is a reminder that nature never stops inventing ways to sustain life. Breathing, in all its variations, is the one language all creatures share, whether through lungs, gills, skin, or the unexpected gateways evolution provides. There are animals that never breathe air at all. Some creatures live entire lives without ever taking a breath. Deep in the ocean, within dark, oxygen-starved sediments, tiny organisms survive by absorbing chemical energy directly from their surroundings. Certain parasites and microscopic worms have lost the genes for respiration altogether, relying instead on their hosts for oxygenated nutrients. In these shadowy ecosystems, life rewrites its rules, proving that even the absence of breath can sustain existence. These beings remind us that breathing, though universal among animals like us, is just one way life negotiates with the universe. Somewhere in the still depths of the sea, motionless and silent, they persist without lungs, without breath, yet still alive, carried by the same spark that moves through every living thing. Whales can hold their breath for over 2 hours. Among all creatures that breathe air, whales are the undisputed masters of stillness. Beneath the surface, they descend into a world of pressure and quiet, slowing their heartbeats until only a few pulses pass each minute. Some species, such as the Cuvier's beaked whale, can remain submerged for more than 2 hours without breathing. Before a dive, they fill their lungs, but it is not the air inside, that sustains them. It is the oxygen stored in their blood and muscle tissue. Their bodies have evolved to conserve every molecule, redirecting flow to vital organs while shutting down what is not essential. When they rise again, the first exhale bursts into the sky as mist, sunlight catching on it like silver. Each dive is a meditation in survival and patience, a rhythm of breath measured in hours rather than seconds. Hummingbirds take more than 200 breaths every minute. To hover on the edge of air, wings a blur faster than the eye can follow. A hummingbird must breathe at astonishing speed. Their tiny hearts race, their metabolism burns fiercely, and every second demands an exchange of oxygen more intense than almost any other creature on Earth. In a single minute, a hummingbird may draw more than 200 quick breaths, each one fueling the furious grace of flight. At night, when rest finally comes, they slow everything. Heartbeat, breathing, even body temperature, entering a torpor that borders on suspended animation. This fragile balance allows them to survive the energy storm of their waking hours. Their breath is a flicker, a pulse of life that seems almost too bright to last, yet it continues, day after day. Within each small chest, the same rhythm that moves whales also drives wings that hum like living light. A blue whale's blow can reach more than 30 feet high. When a blue whale surfaces, it exhales with the force of a living geyser. A column of mist and vapor can shoot upward more than 30 feet, visible for miles across the ocean. That single breath releases the pressure of an entire dive, the echo of a journey through darkness. The sound is deep and soft, like wind through a canyon. Then, almost at once, the whale inhales again, taking in enough air to fill a small car. Inside its vast lungs, oxygen will fuel another graceful plunge into the deep. Every surfacing is a reminder of the invisible line between sea and sky, between the liquid world below and the airy one above. The blue whale, largest creature ever to live, unites both realms with every breath, reminding us that even the giants of the ocean live by the same fragile exchange as we do. Insects breathe without lungs. Beneath their delicate exoskeletons, insects use an entirely different way to exchange gases. Instead of lungs, they rely on tiny openings called spiracles that lead to an intricate network of tubes, the tracheae, which carry air directly to their tissues. There is no blood to ferry oxygen, no rising and falling chest, only the quiet diffusion of life through narrow tunnels. In larger insects, such as grasshoppers, small pumping motions help move air, but even this is gentle compared with the rhythm of mammalian lungs. It is a remarkably efficient system, scaled perfectly for small bodies. Yet it also limits how large insects can grow, since air can travel only so far through these channels. The buzzing of a bee, the flutter of a moth, even the leap of a flea, all are powered by silent breath hidden within a network finer than lace. Some trees appear to breathe as they expand and contract with the air. In the stillness of forests, when sunlight warms bark and evening cools it again, trunks and branches shift ever so slightly. Trees take in and release water and air through their tissues, expanding with humidity and contracting as it fades. Sensitive instruments can measure these movements, a slow pulse that mirrors respiration. Though trees do not breathe as animals do, their lives depend on a similar exchange. Carbon dioxide in, oxygen out. The rhythm of this invisible process shapes the planet's atmosphere, creating the very air we share. Watching a tree over time reveals this secret motion, a reminder that stillness in nature is never truly still. Beneath bark and leaf, life flows with its own quiet tide, a breath so slow that only patience can perceive it. Mushrooms breathe oxygen just like you do. Hidden in soil or rising from damp wood, mushrooms may seem inert, but they are quietly alive and breathing. Fungi consume oxygen and release carbon dioxide, exchanging gases through delicate filaments called hyphae. These threads form vast underground networks that connect trees, plants, and even other fungi. Through them, oxygen moves as softly as mist. The process is slow but constant, a steady respiration that links the forest floor to the air above. Each breath they take helps recycle organic matter, breaking down the fallen remains of life and returning nutrients to the earth. In a way, mushrooms serve as the planet's lungs beneath the surface, unseen yet essential. They remind us that breath is not limited to creatures that move. It is a universal rhythm, shared across kingdoms, binding life together in endless renewal. Coral reefs exchange gases with the ocean in rhythms like breathing. Coral reefs, often called the rainforests of the sea, live through cycles of oxygen and carbon dioxide that echo the pattern of breath. By day, their symbiotic algae photosynthesize, releasing oxygen into the surrounding water. By night, the corals themselves consume oxygen and release carbon dioxide, creating a slow pulse through the reef's ecosystem. Scientists have recorded these chemical changes like the gentle inhaling and exhaling of an enormous organism. Every tide, every shift of light affects this exchange. The coral's tiny polyps open and close in harmony with it, their soft forms swaying in rhythm. The reef breathes as one vast community, sustaining fish, plants, and microorganisms alike. It is a living reminder that even the ocean's stillness is alive with respiration, that the essence of breathing stretches far beyond lungs and air, reaching into the depths of the sea itself. The earth itself breathes, in and out with the seasons. Across the globe, forests, oceans, and grasslands inhale and exhale vast amounts of carbon dioxide every year. During spring and summer in the northern hemisphere, plants grow rapidly, drawing carbon from the air and releasing oxygen, an enormous planetary inhalation. In autumn and winter, as leaves fall and decay, that stored carbon returns to the atmosphere in a long exhale. Satellites can detect these subtle fluctuations in gases, watching the planet's chest rise and fall with the passing seasons. The Earth's breath is not metaphorical. It is measurable, tangible, and ongoing. It binds every ecosystem into one immense cycle, linking microbes in soil to storms in the sky. Even the faintest breeze is part of this global respiration. To live here is to join in it, to breathe not as an individual, but as part of a living world that exhales stars and forests together. Your breath moves in waves that mirror ocean tides. Breathing is not a straight rhythm, but a wave, rising and falling like the sea. Inhale, exhale. Pause, the same pattern echoes in the pull of the tides, in the flow of air across continents, even in the slow surges of blood within your body. The physics of these movements are connected: pressure, flow, and balance. Just as the moon's gravity moves water across the planet, subtle shifts in pressure move air through your lungs. The body is a miniature ocean, its inner currents shaped by the same forces that move the world outside. To breathe deeply is to feel that connection, to sense the quiet correspondence between your pulse and the planets. When you rest and breathe in rhythm with the sea, you are aligning with one of nature's oldest patterns, the endless give and return that sustains all life. The first creatures to breathe oxygen changed the planet forever. Billions of years ago, Earth's atmosphere held almost no oxygen. Then microscopic cyanobacteria learned to harness sunlight, spitting water molecules and releasing oxygen as waste. What began as a chemical accident transformed the world. Over millions of years, these tiny architects filled the air with enough oxygen to support complex life. This event, called the Great Oxygenation, was both creation and catastrophe. Many ancient organisms perished, unable to survive the new environment, but new forms evolved that could breathe. From that transformation came the foundation for animals, plants, and humans. Every breath you take is part of that inheritance, the continuation of an ancient revolution begun by single cells in shallow seas. The air you breathe now carries the memory of that first spark of photosynthesis, the moment when the planet truly learned how to inhale and exhale. The air you breathe contains traces of ancient volcanoes. Long before cities or forests existed, volcanoes were among the first sculptors of Earth's atmosphere. Their eruptions released enormous clouds of gas, water vapor, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and sulfur. Over countless millennia, these ingredients mixed, cooled, and formed the air that now sustains you. Even today, tiny traces of volcanic gases linger everywhere, faint chemical signatures from eruptions both ancient and modern. When you take a breath, you are inhaling the residue of the planet's fiery past. The same elements that once roared from molten rock now drift softly through your lungs. In that sense, every inhale is a dialogue with the deep interior of Earth, a reminder that even the calmest breeze carries a memory of creation. The planet still breathes through its volcanoes, exhaling heat and minerals, keeping the cycle of air alive from core to sky. Some of the oxygen in your lungs comes from microscopic ocean plants. Invisible to the naked eye, trillions of tiny phytoplankton float in the sunlit layers of the sea. These microscopic plants produce oxygen through photosynthesis, releasing it into the water and the air above. Scientists estimate that more than half of the oxygen in our atmosphere originates from them. Every breath you take carries molecules born from this vast hidden forest of drifting life. They shimmer in the currents, their green pigments catching sunlight like underwater leaves. When the wind stirs the ocean's surface, their oxygen escapes upward, joining the air that encircles the planet. You might be breathing the exhalation of plankton that lived thousands of miles away only days ago. The sea is not just a home for life, but a lung of the world, inhaling carbon, exhaling oxygen, and sustaining every creature that breathes. More than half the world's oxygen is made by the sea. Though forests are often called the lungs of the earth, it is the ocean that produces most of the air we breathe. Beneath its waves, countless plankton, algae, and tiny cyanobacteria work tirelessly, capturing sunlight and turning it into oxygen. Their invisible labor sustains the atmosphere as surely as any tree. Waves and wind mix their output with the sky, creating a seamless exchange between sea and air. Without this constant renewal, the planet would soon grow thin of breath. Every inhale you take contains the memory of the ocean, even if you live far inland. When sunlight glitters on the water's surface, it marks the pulse of the planet's respiration, a slow and eternal rhythm that began billions of years ago and will continue long after our own fleeting exhalations fade into breaths. The wind. Without photosynthesis, breathing would not exist. Photosynthesis is the miracle at the center of life on Earth. It allows plants, algae, and certain bacteria to capture sunlight and transform it into energy, releasing oxygen as a gift to the rest of the world. Without it, there would be no breathable air, no fire, and no complex life. Every forest, every meadow, and every patch of moss quietly contributes to this cycle. Even the air within your lungs is a product of that ancient reaction. The balance between photosynthesis and respiration maintains the planet's atmosphere with exquisite precision. When you breathe out, plants breathe in. When they exhale oxygen, you inhale it. It is the most perfect partnership imaginable, a conversation that never ends. In the stillness of a forest or the shimmer of the sea, you can feel it happening. the world and its creatures sharing the same endless breath. The first breath a baby takes changes its heart forever. Before birth, a baby's lungs are filled with fluid, and its heart sends blood along a path that bypasses them. The moment the newborn draws its first breath, everything transforms. The lungs expand, pressure shifts, and tiny valves within the heart close, redirecting blood into its new route. This single action sets the heart's lifelong rhythm in motion. The first cry marks not only the arrival of air, but the awakening of independence, the moment when the body becomes its own source of oxygen. From that instant forward, life will be measured in breaths. The change is irreversible, yet profoundly natural. A biological sunrise that has occurred billions of times, yet feels miraculous each time it happens. Every person carries the quiet memory of that first inhale, the one that began every heartbeat and every story that followed. The last breath of every creature joins the great atmospheric cycle. When a living being exhales for the final time, its breath does not vanish. The molecules of air, water vapor, and carbon dioxide rise and mingle with the winds, entering the same circulation that sustains all life. Those atoms travel across oceans, through storms, and into the lungs of future generations. The breath of every creature that has ever lived still lingers in the sky. Death ends the heartbeat, but not the motion of matter. The atmosphere is an eternal archive, keeping traces of every sigh and whisper since life began. To breathe is to share in that inheritance, to participate in the ceaseless exchange between past and present. Each inhale you take includes a fraction of those final exhalations, a quiet reminder that nothing in nature is ever truly lost, only transformed and continued. Even in death, breath returns quietly to the earth. When life fades, the air that once moved through lungs and leaves drifts back into the larger rhythm of the planet. Soil organisms, roots, and microbes take up what is released, transforming it again into the building blocks of growth. The breath of one life becomes nourishment for another. In time, the same atoms may return as part of a breeze, a cloud, or a blade of grass. Nature wastes nothing. It only changes form. Even decay is a kind of respiration, the slow exhalation of what once lived. Every breath you take will someday be returned in this way, joining the quiet hum of the world's renewal. Death does not silence the air, but folds it gently back into the earth, where it waits to rise again, light and invisible, in some new form of life. Your breath and voice are born from the same stream of air. The sound of your voice begins as breath moving from your lungs through the throat. When that air meets the vocal cords, it vibrates, shaping sound. Every word you have ever spoken was once a silent exhale transformed into tone. The strength of your voice depends on how smoothly the breath flows, how much air is released, and how it resonates through the chest and mouth. Singers and speakers learn to master this connection, turning breath into music, emotion, and meaning. Even whispers are sculpted air, shaped by delicate changes in the lips and tongue. In every conversation, you share part of your breath with the world. It is a reminder that language, art, and communication all arise from the same source that keeps you alive, the quiet stream of air that never truly stops moving through you. When you whisper, you sculpt your breath into gentle shapes. A whisper is the softest form of speech, born when air slips through the throat without vibrating the vocal cords. The result is a stream of turbulent air that carries meaning without volume. Every whisper contains intimacy, a sense of closeness carried on breath alone. To whisper is to send language in its purest form, words stripped down to the movement of air itself. The human ear is so sensitive that even this faint current can travel across a room. Scientists studying whispering have found that it uses unique muscle patterns and airflow distinct from normal speech. In that way, a whisper is both science and poetry, a physical act of shaping air into thought. The next time you whisper, remember that you are breathing meaning into existence, molding invisible air into something that can touch another mind. Breathing creates the music of your existence. The quiet rhythm of breathing underlies every sound your body makes, the sigh of relaxation, the murmur of speech, the hum of song. Without breath, there would be no melody, no laughter, no expression. Each inhale draws in possibility. Each exhale releases it into the world. Musicians, singers, and storytellers all rely on this invisible metronome, the steady beat of respiration that shapes tempo and tone. Even when you are silent, your breath continues its subtle percussion, a background symphony that keeps life's tempo. Every heartbeat, every thought, every dream is timed to its rise and fall. The body is both instrument and performer, sustained by the same air it shapes into sound. To listen to your own breathing is to hear the most ancient music of all, a song that began with life itself and never truly ends. In sleep, your breath becomes a slow river. When you drift into sleep, your breath changes its rhythm, becoming smooth and unhurried. The lungs loosen their hold on the waking world, and the air inside you begins to move like water flowing through a quiet stream. Each inhale stretches wider, each exhale softens longer, and the body begins to synchronize with a gentler clock. Scientists who measure sleeping respiration often describe it as waves on a shore, the steady repetition that carries the mind into deeper currents of rest. During the most peaceful stages of sleep, the brain's electrical activity falls into harmony with this breathing pattern, creating a perfect feedback loop between mind and body. Dreams rise and fall with the same cadence. Even the heart listens, slowing to match the tempo of the lungs. Your breath becomes the lullaby that guides every cell toward renewal, a silent tide that keeps you floating through the dark. Breathing patterns can synchronize between people. When two people share space, their bodies begin to communicate through the air itself. Studies using subtle sensors have shown that people sitting close together, even in silence, often start breathing at nearly the same pace. The synchronization can happen within minutes, an unconscious exchange that seems to tune one nervous system to another. Musicians in orchestras and audiences in theaters show this same invisible harmony. Their breaths rise and fall together as the performance unfolds. This connection likely evolved as a way for groups to act as one, to move or rest in shared rhythm. Breathing together deepens empathy and reduces stress, creating a bond that words alone cannot express. It is as though every exhale carries a message of calm that the other person receives through their next inhale. To breathe near someone is to join their unseen music, a duet played without sound or intention. When two people sit close, they can begin to breathe in rhythm. Sit quietly with another person for long enough, and you may find your chests moving together, rising and falling as if following a common tide. This phenomenon, observed in couples, friends, and even strangers, reveals how deeply social the act of breathing truly is. Our nervous systems mirror one another through sight, sound, and subtle vibrations in the air. The rhythm of a nearby breath becomes an anchor, gently guiding your own. Scientists studying this effect have found that shared breathing can align heart rates, slow anxiety, and create a sense of mutual peace. The effect is strongest when people trust or feel safe with each other, showing that calm spreads through connection as surely as through kindness. In that quiet synchronization lies something primal, a memory of the earliest times when survival depended on staying close. breathing together beneath the same night sky. Shared breathing can steady the heartbeats of lovers or friends. When two people breathe together, their hearts begin to follow the same rhythm. The lungs act as metronomes, sending waves of pressure through the chest that subtly influence the pulse. This connection is especially strong between lovers, close friends, and even parents and infants. The effect can be felt during long embraces or moments of quiet rest, when air moves in and out of both bodies in gentle unity. Researchers who monitor pairs in meditation or synchronized yoga sessions have observed heartbeats aligning almost perfectly with shared breaths. This delicate harmony is not magic, but physiology, a blending of nervous systems that evolved to promote calm and trust. When you hold someone close and breathe with them, you are, in a sense, lending each other balance. The heart hears the lungs' rhythm, and together they compose a song of stillness, tenderness, and unspoken connection. Even watching someone breathe can influence your own. Breathing is contagious, even without sound or touch. If you sit beside someone who is calm and breathing slowly, your own breath will often begin to mirror theirs. The brain's mirror neurons, which help us imitate movement and emotion, respond even to the gentle rise and fall of another's chest. This subconscious mimicry allows the body to attune itself to the atmosphere around it, matching energy without effort. Teachers, actors, and leaders have long used steady breathing to calm groups, radiating peace that others unconsciously follow. Likewise, seeing another person breathe quickly can make your own breathing shallow and rapid, as though your body is preparing for the same tension. This invisible exchange is one of the quiet ways humans communicate safety, trust, and emotion. Simply by breathing peacefully, you can help those nearby find their own calm rhythm again. The breath you take before speaking determines the tone of your voice. Before a word leaves your mouth, it begins as a breath shaped by intention. A deep, slow inhale produces a calm, grounded voice. A quick, shallow one gives rise to tension or excitement. Singers and actors train themselves to master this relationship, learning to let breath become emotion in motion. The lungs feed the voice with power, but the way you breathe determines its character. Even casual speech carries traces of this invisible preparation, the fraction of a second when breath becomes meaning. A confident speaker draws in air deliberately, creating a resonance that carries warmth and authority. In contrast, uncertain or hurried breathing can scatter the sound, making words tremble. Every conversation, every laugh, every whisper is sculpted first by the breath that precedes it. To master your breathing is to master the tone of your presence, giving your words the same calm that fills your lungs. Laughing changes your breathing more powerfully than crying. Laughter transforms breathing into bursts of rhythm and sound. Each laugh begins with a deep inhalation, followed by rapid, spasmodic exhalations that push air from the lungs in joyful pulses. The diaphragm contracts again and again, forcing air through the vocal cords in short waves that create the familiar sound of mirth. Crying alters breath as well, but laughter does so with greater force, reshaping heartbeat, blood flow, and even brain chemistry. When you laugh, your body briefly forgets stress oxygen surges, muscles release, and hormones of pleasure flood your bloodstream. The simple act of laughter is a full-body reset, balancing emotion through the oldest kind of breathing exercise. Afterward, a long sigh often follows, the lungs releasing the last echoes of joy. In that exhale lies contentment, the quiet aftermath of happiness itself, written in the language of breath and relief. Singing trains your lungs to work like precision instruments. To sing well is to breathe with mastery. Each phrase of music demands control over air pressure, timing, and volume. The diaphragm must move smoothly, the ribs expand evenly, and the exhalation remains steady, no matter how long the note. Singers spend years training this coordination, learning to let breath flow like silk rather than bursts of force. This constant practice strengthens the lungs and deepens awareness of the body's rhythm. Studies have shown that regular singing can improve lung capacity, oxygen efficiency, and even mood, as it synchronizes breathing with sound. Choirs often find their members breathing together unconsciously, forming one great organism of air and voice. Every sustained note becomes proof that human breath can be shaped into art, a controlled storm of air transformed into harmony. The lungs become instruments, and the soul becomes the musician. Wind instruments are extensions of human breath. From the hollow reed flute of ancient shepherds to the brass trumpets of modern orchestras, wind instruments are ways of giving shape to air. The musician's breath vibrates within wood or metal, turning invisible motion into song. Each instrument reflects a different relationship between lungs and sound. The long, low whisper of a clarinet, the bright cry of a trumpet, the haunting purity of a flute. To play them well requires exquisite awareness of breath's force, direction, and rhythm. Musicians must learn to balance exhalation and inhalation so smoothly that sound flows without interruption. In that control lies beauty, a direct translation of life's most basic act into art. Every melody played on a wind instrument is a shared breath, the meeting of body and air, and the transformation of something ordinary into something eternal. Breath becomes music, and music becomes life continued through sound. The first music ever made was probably just a breath. Long before humans built instruments or even language, the first music may have been nothing more than a sound of air. A sigh, a hum, a soft exhale through cupped hands. These were likely the earliest expressions of rhythm and emotion. The connection between breathing and music is older than civilization itself. Archaeologists have uncovered ancient bone flutes over 40,000 years old, shaped to echo the natural vibrations of the human breath. Yet even without tools, our ancestors likely sang with their lungs alone, imitating wind, birds, and the calls of one another. Breath became the first instrument, and the lungs became the first drum. The universality of song across all cultures reflects this shared origin. Every melody since that time has been, in some way, a continuation of that primal exhalation. The simple act of turning life's breath into beauty. The smell of rain begins the moment you inhale petrichor. After a dry spell, when rain first touches the earth, a familiar scent rises into the air. This fragrance, called petrichor, comes from oils released by plants and from geosmin, a compound created by soil-dwelling bacteria. When raindrops strike dry ground, they trap tiny bubbles that rise and burst, scattering the smell into the wind. As you inhale, those molecules reach sensors deep in your nose, and your brain interprets them as freshness and renewal. Evolution may have tuned this response to help early humans sense coming storms or fertile soil. The smell of rain is not just chemistry, it is memory and emotion woven into air. Each breath you take after rainfall connects you to the living earth, to the countless generations who once looked upward and felt the same quiet joy in the scent of water meeting dust. Your nose warms, moistens, and filters every breath you take. The nose is not merely an opening for air, but a sophisticated life support system. As air passes through its passages, it is warmed to body temperature and moistened by delicate membranes lined with tiny blood vessels. This process protects the lungs from cold, dryness, and irritation. At the same time, microscopic hairs and mucus trap dust, pollen, and microbes cleaning the air before it reaches deeper into the body. The curved interior of the nasal cavity also creates turbulence, allowing scents to swirl toward receptors that decode the world around you. Every breath you take through your nose is an act of refinement, a collaboration between form and function that has evolved for millions of years. Breathing through the nose keeps the body hydrated, the air purified, and the rhythm of respiration balanced. It is the first gatekeeper of life's most precious element. Tiny hairs in your nose catch dust and bacteria from the air. Inside your nose lies a forest of fine hairs known as cilia, each one moving in subtle coordination. These tiny strands serve as sentinels, trapping particles that would otherwise reach your lungs. When dust, pollen, or bacteria land inside the nasal passages, the cilia sweep them toward the throat, where they can be swallowed and neutralized by stomach acid. This microscopic cleaning system runs continuously, powered by the steady motion of your breath. It protects you from countless airborne threats without your awareness. In one day, these hairs may intercept thousands of particles, a silent filtration process that keeps the inner world safe from the outer one. What feels like an effortless inhale is, in truth, a complex defense mechanism, a biological choreography that never stops working to ensure that each breath you take remains pure and life-giving. Breathing through your nose produces nitric oxide that helps blood flow. Each time you inhale through your nose, a small amount of nitric oxide is released from the surrounding tissues into the airways. This gas, though present in minute quantities, performs remarkable work within the body. When it reaches the lungs, it relaxes the blood vessels, improving circulation and enhancing the delivery of oxygen throughout the body. It also acts as an antimicrobial agent, helping to neutralize pathogens that enter with the air. Breathing through the mouth bypasses this benefit entirely, which is why nasal breathing is considered healthier and more efficient. The production of nitric oxide ties every breath to the well-being of the heart and brain, linking the act of inhalation to the flow of life itself. To breathe deeply through the nose is to engage one of nature's quietest medicines, a chemical symphony performed with every single breath. Mouth breathing changes the shape of the face over time. When breathing happens mostly through the mouth instead of the nose, it alters how air moves through the body, and even how the bones of the face grow. Children who habitually mouth breathe may develop narrower jaws, longer faces, and smaller airways as muscles adapt to the open mouth posture. Over time, even adults who breathe this way can experience changes in alignment, leading to snoring or fatigue. Nasal breathing encourages the tongue to rest against the roof of the mouth, supporting proper growth and balance. The simple act of where you draw air determines far more than comfort, it shapes your physiology. Modern breathing therapies often focus on retraining people to close the mouth and rediscover the natural rhythm of nasal inhalation. Through that small shift, the structure of the face and the health of the lungs can quietly begin to heal. The way you breathe can alter the chemistry of your blood. Each breath subtly changes the balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide circulating through the bloodstream. Rapid, shallow breathing expels too much carbon dioxide, causing blood vessels to constrict and altering the body's pH balance. This can lead to dizziness, tingling, or anxiety. Slow, deliberate breathing restores equilibrium, allowing carbon dioxide to build slightly and maintain proper acidity in the blood. This balance affects how easily oxygen binds to red blood cells and how it is released to tissues. Ancient breathing practices, once thought mystical, are now understood as direct ways to influence this chemistry. With just a few mindful breaths, you can shift the state of your body from tension to calm. The blood becomes a mirror for the rhythm of respiration, changing in real time with every inhale and exhale you take. Slow breathing can lower blood pressure within minutes. When breathing slows, a cascade of physiological responses unfolds. The vagus nerve, which connects the brain to the heart and other organs, activates signals that reduce heart rate and relax blood vessels. This lowers blood pressure naturally and almost immediately. Practicing slow breathing for just a few minutes can bring measurable calm to the cardiovascular system. The effect is so reliable that some hospitals now use controlled breathing exercises to help patients stabilize anxiety and hypertension without medication. Slow breathing increases carbon dioxide slightly, which signals the body to relax further. Over time, the heart begins to follow the lungs' tranquil pace, turning each deep breath into a heartbeat of serenity. In this simple rhythm, science and peace meet perfectly, showing that within the space of one mindful inhale lies the power to reshape the entire body's harmony. A breath of pure oxygen can be dangerous in excess. Although oxygen is essential, too much of it can harm the body. Breathing pure oxygen for extended periods can create oxidative stress, damaging lung tissue and overwhelming the cell's ability to manage reactive molecules. Deep-sea divers and astronauts must carefully control oxygen levels to avoid toxicity. Even short exposures to high concentrations can irritate airways or disrupt the balance that evolution perfected. The air around you, with its mixture of gases, is designed by nature to support life safely. Nitrogen acts as a buffer, preventing oxygen from burning too brightly within the blood. The paradox of breathing is that what sustains life in moderation can destroy it in excess. In every breath, balance is the key, a delicate harmony that the atmosphere maintains with grace. The wisdom of air lies in its restraint, a quiet lesson from the sky itself. Hyperventilation floods your blood with too little carbon dioxide. When breathing becomes too rapid, the body loses carbon dioxide faster than it can be replenished. This imbalance shifts the blood's chemistry, causing vessels to narrow and reducing oxygen delivery to the brain. The result can be lightheadedness, tingling, or the sensation of suffocating even though the lungs are full of air. The remedy is simple but powerful. Slow the breath and allow carbon dioxide to rebuild. Deep breathing restores the body's equilibrium, reopening vessels and calming the nervous system. Hyperventilation shows how fragile the balance of gases truly is. The rhythm of breath must stay within a narrow range for life to function well. To regain calm, one must remember the lesson nature repeats in every living thing, that peace, like oxygen, cannot be forced. It must be allowed to flow, steady and patient, until the body remembers its natural rhythm again. The urge to breathe comes more from carbon dioxide than oxygen. It is not the lack of oxygen that makes you desperate to inhale after holding your breath, but the buildup of carbon dioxide. Specialized receptors in the brain and blood vessels monitor this gas constantly. When its concentration rises, they send powerful signals to the lungs to expand, forcing the next breath. Oxygen can still be plentiful in your blood, yet the rising carbon dioxide creates the feeling of suffocation. This mechanism ensures that breathing never lags behind the body's needs. Free divers and meditators learn to suppress this reflex temporarily, but it can never be ignored for long. The entire rhythm of respiration depends on this delicate feedback loop. Each breath you take is not simply hunger for oxygen. It is also the body's way of releasing what it no longer needs, restoring the eternal exchange that defines life itself. Astronauts recycle their own breath in space. In orbit, nothing is wasted, not even air. Every breath, exhaled by an astronaut, becomes part of a closed system that must sustain life far from Earth. Carbon dioxide released from the lungs is captured by filters that strip it away, while the remaining gases are refreshed and cycled back through the cabin. Even moisture from each breath condenses on the walls, collected and purified into drinking water. Machines quietly hum, mimicking the role of forests and oceans below. In that confined world, the atmosphere becomes both a companion and a responsibility, something living that must be tended carefully. Each inhale carries the echo of earlier ones, an endless loop of respiration and renewal. To breathe in space is to take part in a human-made version of Earth's own miracle, proof that wherever we travel, life finds a way to keep its rhythm. In space, air must be manufactured from water and electricity. Outside Earth's atmosphere, there is no breeze, no oxygen, no air at all. To survive among the stars, astronauts must create their own atmosphere from the most basic materials. A process called electrolysis uses electricity to split water into hydrogen and oxygen. The oxygen becomes breathable air, while the hydrogen is vented away or combined again later to form water. The system is a continuous cycle, turning simple molecules into life itself. Every spark of power that flows through the station helps maintain this fragile balance, transforming silence into breath. Looking through the window of a spacecraft, the thin shimmer of Earth's blue halo becomes a reminder of what we take for granted: an entire planet performing this chemistry naturally. In space, each breath is a triumph of science, a carefully measured miracle repeated moment by moment against the emptiness. Submarines create breathable air deep beneath the ocean. Far below the surface, where sunlight cannot reach, submarines carry their own atmosphere just as spacecraft do. Oxygen is generated through chemical reactions or by splitting water with electric current. Carbon dioxide, the waste of every exhale, is absorbed by canisters of special compounds that keep the air safe to breathe. Temperature and humidity are carefully controlled, and every molecule is accounted for. Sailors live for weeks or months sealed inside these pressurized worlds, their lives dependent on the quiet hum of filters and compressors. The ocean outside presses with immense weight, but inside, the rhythm of breathing continues undisturbed. The air in a submarine is invisible proof of human ingenuity, a manufactured ecosystem that mirrors the sky. Every breath taken below reminds us that life can persist even in the most alien places, sustained by knowledge, patience, and faith in precision. You can make oxygen by splitting water with light. Sunlight has the power to free air from water. When certain materials absorb light, they can break the bonds that hold hydrogen and oxygen together. This process, called photoelectrolysis, is the foundation for technologies that may one day help sustain life on Mars or beyond. Artificial leaves and solar panels are being developed to mimic the ancient work of photosynthesis, turning sunlight, water, and minerals into breathable oxygen. It is the same chemistry that plants have mastered for billions of years, now reborn in laboratories and spacecraft design. The idea that light can create air links the simplest of elements to the most essential need of life. One day, explorers on distant worlds may take their first breath under an alien sun, inhaling oxygen born directly from light, proof that the universe itself provides the recipe for life wherever energy tau and water meet. Early divers discovered how to breathe under pressure. When humans first ventured beneath the surface with heavy helmets and air hoses, they entered a realm that challenged every breath. The deeper they descended, the more the surrounding water pressed in, compressing air and changing its effects on the body. Too much oxygen became toxic, while nitrogen could lull the mind into a dreamlike trance. Through trial, error, and courage, early divers learned to balance the gases, inventing mixtures that kept them conscious and safe. Their experiments laid the groundwork for modern scuba systems and deep-sea exploration. Each dive became a study in adaptation, an exploration not only of the ocean, but of human limits. The discovery that even air behaves differently under pressure revealed how delicate the relationship is between life and the invisible medium that sustains it. Every bubble rising from a diver's mask carries that lesson upward toward the light. High-altitude climbers train their bodies to use less oxygen. In the world's highest mountains, every breath feels thin, every movement deliberate. As climbers ascend, the air holds less oxygen, forcing their bodies to adapt. Over weeks, the number of red blood cells increases, allowing more efficient transport of oxygen through the blood. Breathing becomes slower but deeper, the lungs stretching to gather every trace of air. This transformation is not immediate. It is a conversation between the body and the mountain, one that demands patience and respect. Many climbers describe the sensation as learning to breathe all over again. The sky feels close, yet air itself seems distant. Each inhale becomes precious, a moment of triumph against nature's limits. When they finally return to lower ground, the simple act of breathing freely feels almost overwhelming, a reminder that what is effortless at sea level is a gift hard-won in thin air. At extreme heights, breathing becomes an act of survival. Above 8,000 meters, the so-called death zone, the atmosphere thins to the point where oxygen cannot sustain the body for long. Even with supplemental tanks, every breath is an effort, each heartbeat slower and weaker. The air burns cold and dry, and exhaustion arrives like a tide. Climbers must move carefully, resting between steps, listening to the rasp of their breath inside frozen masks. The mind begins to drift, starved of oxygen, yet focused on the simplest task of all, to keep breathing. At that altitude, survival becomes a rhythm, one inhalation at a time. The summit is no longer a goal, but a brief glimpse before the long descent. In those moments, breathing is stripped of everything except its purest meaning. It is life itself, fragile, essential, and beautiful against the vast, thin sky. The air is thinner even on a tall mountain. Standing at the top of a high peak, you can feel the difference immediately. The air seems colder, lighter, and less satisfying, as though the lungs cannot quite fill. This is because air pressure decreases with altitude, spreading molecules farther apart. At 5,000 meters, there is nearly half as much oxygen available per breath as at sea level. The body compensates by breathing faster and producing more red blood cells to carry what little oxygen remains. Mountaineers and high-altitude dwellers adapt slowly, finding a new balance between air and body. Birds that soar at these heights, such as geese and vultures, possess specialized hemoglobin that grips oxygen tightly, allowing flight where humans would struggle. The mountain teaches humility. Even air, our most abundant resource, becomes a precious commodity. To breathe in thin air is to be reminded of how dependent we are on the kindness of the atmosphere. Your body adjusts to altitude by making more red blood cells. When oxygen levels drop, the body responds with remarkable precision. The kidneys release a hormone called erythropoietin, which signals the bone marrow to produce additional red blood cells. These new cells act as couriers, carrying more oxygen to muscles and organs. Over days and weeks, the change becomes visible in endurance and energy. This adaptation, known as acclimatization, allows humans to live and thrive in high mountain villages or complete long expeditions in thin air. The process is slow and sometimes uncomfortable, but it reveals the flexibility built into every living system. Your body, without conscious thought, rewrites its own chemistry to survive. The blood thickens slightly, the breath deepens, and the heart finds a new rhythm. In this way, life bends but does not break, meeting the sky's challenge with patience and quiet strength. Some animals thrive where humans could never breathe. From the Himalayan peaks to the frozen Antarctic deserts, some creatures have evolved to live in air too thin or cold for human lungs. The bar-headed goose, for example, migrates over the summit of Mount Everest, its blood carrying oxygen twice as efficiently as ours. Yaks graze on Tibetan plateaus where people gasp for air, their hearts large and their lungs vast. In the Andes, llamas and vicuñas flourish at altitudes that would leave most humans dizzy. Even fish in mountain lakes have adapted to draw oxygen from icy, depleted water. Nature writes endless variations on the same theme of breath. Where humans rely on technology or training, these animals live in effortless balance, their every cell tuned to scarcity. They remind us that breathing is not just a necessity, but an art that evolution has practiced to perfection across countless forms of life. Insects use tiny tubes instead of lungs to draw in air. For insects, breathing happens without a single lung or muscle dedicated to it. Their bodies are lined with a network of narrow tubes called tracheae that open to the outside through small holes along the abdomen. Air travels directly through these passages to reach each cell, bypassing the need for blood to carry oxygen. Some insects gently flex their bodies to pump air through, while smaller ones rely entirely on diffusion. The system is silent, efficient, and beautifully simple, yet it limits how large they can grow. During prehistoric times, when oxygen levels were higher, giant dragonflies with wings the size of hawks filled the skies. Their size was made possible by air richer than today's. Modern insects remain small because the tracheal system can reach only so far. Every buzzing fly and fluttering moth carries within it this ancient blueprint of breath, made elegant by scale. Some fish can breathe air when water runs out. When drought dries ponds and rivers, certain fish perform a quiet miracle. Species like lungfish, mudskippers, and catfish have evolved organs that allow them to draw oxygen from air. Lungfish can bury themselves in mud and form cocoons of mucus, breathing through primitive lungs until rain returns. Mudskippers live between water and land, gulping air into their mouths and storing it for later use. These creatures blur the line between fish and amphibian, living proof of the evolutionary bridge that once carried life from sea to shore. Each breath they take on land is a reflection of resilience, a promise that life will adapt to almost any challenge. In their strange, gasping rhythm lies the memory of our own origins, when ancient ancestors first lifted their heads above the waves to taste the open air. Salamanders exchange gases directly through their skin. Among the most delicate forms of life are salamanders, many of which lack lungs entirely. Instead, they breathe through their moist skin, a living membrane rich with blood vessels that absorb oxygen directly from the air or water around them. To survive this way, they must remain damp, for dryness would seal their lifeline. This fragile method of respiration ties them intimately to the environment. Changes in temperature, pollution, or humidity can threaten their existence, making them early indicators of ecosystem health. Every breath they take is a partnership with the world outside, a blending of boundaries between self and surroundings. In a sense, they remind us that all breathing is an act of exchange, a conversation between organism and atmosphere, between body and the air that sustains it. Their existence is a whisper of life at its most exposed and beautiful. Plants breathe in carbon dioxide and exhale oxygen. Though they lack lungs or mouths, plants are among the planet's most accomplished breathers. Through the process of photosynthesis, they take in carbon dioxide and release oxygen, reversing the pattern of animals. Each leaf serves as a living factory, capturing sunlight and using its energy to transform air and water into food. This silent respiration has shaped the Earth for billions of years, making the atmosphere fit for complex life. Every inhale you take depends on the patient work of these green organisms. Even at night, when photosynthesis rests, plants continue to breathe in their own way, absorbing oxygen and releasing carbon dioxide just as we do. Together, the plant and animal kingdoms form two halves of a single breath, a continuous exchange that keeps the planet alive. In every forest breeze, you can feel that invisible partnership flowing through the air. Leaves have tiny openings called stomata for breathing. On the surface of every leaf are countless microscopic pores known as stomata. These tiny openings open and close to control the exchange of gases, allowing carbon dioxide to enter and oxygen to leave. Water vapor also escapes through them, creating a flow that drives the movement of nutrients from roots to tip. When sunlight brightens, stomata widen when darkness falls or drought arrives. They close to conserve moisture. Under a microscope, they look like small mouths, constantly shifting in response to the world around them. Each leaf may contain thousands, working together like a network of lungs for the entire plant. Their collective breathing helps shape weather patterns and the balance of air across continents. To gaze upon a leaf is to see a map of life's persistence, written in the language of light, water, and air. Forests breathe together, inhaling and exhaling each day. Every forest on Earth has a rhythm that echoes through the atmosphere. During daylight, trees and plants draw in carbon dioxide, using sunlight to create energy and releasing oxygen in return. As night falls, the process slows and reverses slightly, creating a planetary heartbeat of gas exchange. Satellite measurements show that the concentration of carbon dioxide in the air actually rises and falls with the turning of the Earth, a sign of the planet's collective respiration. In vast regions like the Amazon or Siberia, this breathing is powerful enough to influence climate, cloud formation, and rainfall. To walk beneath a canopy of trees is to stand within the lungs of the world, feeling the slow inhale of morning and the soft exhale of dusk. The forest does not merely live, it breathes in unity, exhaling the air that keeps everything alive. The Amazon rainforest acts like the lungs of the planet. Stretching across millions of square kilometers, the Amazon rainforest produces a significant portion of the Earth's oxygen and absorbs vast amounts of carbon dioxide. Each tree, vine, and moss-covered trunk participates in the grand exchange of gases that shapes the planet's climate. The forest's respiration creates its own weather, drawing moisture from the ground and releasing it as mist and rain. From space, satellites can track the great seasonal pulse of this living system, breathing in carbon during the wet months and exhaling it during the dry. Though humans often call it the lungs of the planet, it is more like the heart, circulating air and water across continents. The health of this forest influences the health of everything that breathes. Within its endless green expanse, life continuously transforms air into the delicate balance that sustains the world. When forests burn, they release the breath they once stored. Fire is both destroyer and renewer, and in a burning forest, the air itself changes. The carbon locked within wood and leaves is released back into the atmosphere as smoke and gas. Oxygen vanishes in the flames, consumed to fuel the blaze, and what remains becomes carbon dioxide. For a time, the balance of the world's breath is reversed, creation giving way to release. Yet even in destruction, fire clears the way for growth. Ash enriches the soil, and sunlight reaches seeds waiting below. New trees rise, taking in carbon once more, exhaling oxygen for centuries to come. Each forest carries the memory of past fires, and each flame becomes part of the cycle. The breath of earth does not stop, it transforms. Exhale becoming inhale. Death feeding life, and air forever renewed through change. Breathing has shaped the atmosphere of Earth over billions of years. When life first began, Earth's air was nothing like it is today. It was thick with methane, ammonia, and carbon dioxide, hostile to the kind of life we now know. Then came microorganisms capable of photosynthesis, releasing oxygen as waste. Over immense spans of time, this new gas transformed the planet, turning skies blue and oceans green with possibility. The Great Oxidation Event, more than 2 billion years ago, marked the moment breath entered the story of the world. Since then, volcanoes, plants, and animals have all taken turns reshaping the air, balancing gases in a slow dance that continues even now. The atmosphere is not static, it is alive, molded by everything that breathes. Each inhalation you take carries the imprint of that ancient transformation, a connection to the first pulse of air that ever filled the sky. Even now, life is still changing the air we breathe. The composition of the atmosphere continues to evolve, sculpted by forests, oceans, and the actions of humanity. Every living organism contributes something to the mix. Microbes in soil release trace gases. Plankton at the ocean's surface emit chemicals that seed clouds. And human industry adds compounds once absent from nature entirely. The air is a living record of everything that happens on the planet, a constantly shifting balance of chemistry and life. Scientists studying ancient ice cores can trace these changes through time, reading the planet's story trapped in bubbles of air older than civilization itself. Even the breath you release right now joins this continuum, a molecular signature added to the atmosphere's memory. The sky above us is not just space, it is a living archive, rewritten endlessly by the rhythm of breath. Meditation can synchronize breath with brain waves. When the mind quiets during meditation, the rhythm of breathing and the rhythm of brain waves begin to align. Electroencephalograms show that slow, steady breathing increases alpha and theta activity, patterns associated with calm, clarity, and creativity. The body follows suit, heart rate and blood pressure easing into balance. In this synchronized state, thoughts drift more gently, as if rocked by the tide of each breath. Experienced meditators can maintain this harmony for long periods, their brains entering a tranquil coherence rarely seen in waking life. Even brief practice can produce this effect, revealing how deeply the lungs and neurons are entwined. Breathing becomes both anchor and guide, a bridge between awareness and peace. The quiet repetition of inhale and exhale does more than soothe the body. It tunes the mind to its most natural frequency, the pulse of stillness itself. Breath awareness is central to many ancient spiritual traditions. Across cultures and centuries, the act of noticing one's breath has been a path to insight and healing. In yoga, breath is called prana, the vital energy that moves through all living things. In Chinese philosophy, it is qi, the current that sustains the world. Buddhist monks follow their breath to anchor the mind, while indigenous ceremonies use rhythmic breathing to connect with the spirit of the earth. These traditions, though distant in geography and language, all discovered the same truth. But the breath is the meeting point of body and soul. To observe it is to understand oneself, to calm the storms of thought and return to balance. Modern science now confirms what these practices intuited long ago. Conscious breathing changes heart rate, brain chemistry, and emotional tone. In every inhale lies a chance to remember that you are alive, present, and part of everything. The word spirit once meant breath. In many ancient languages, the word for spirit or soul was the same as the word for breath. In Latin, spiritus meant both air and essence in Greek. Pneuma carried the same dual meaning. Even in Hebrew, ruach meant wind, breath, or divine presence. This shared etymology reveals something profound. Early people saw life itself as breath made visible. To breathe was to possess spirit. To stop breathing was to let it go. The air moving through the lungs was not just biology, but the motion of existence itself. The simple act of inhaling and exhaling connected the human body to the unseen world. Every word you speak still begins with a breath, carrying that ancient lineage forward. Long before religion or science divided the two, breath and spirit were understood as one, inseparable currents flowing through every living thing. Many cultures believed that breath was the essence of the soul. From the deserts of Egypt to the forests of Japan, civilizations have viewed breath as the invisible thread binding life to the divine. Ancient Egyptians described the soul's essence as the breath of the gods. In Japan, the word iki meant both breath and life. In Polynesian belief, breath was sacred energy, passed from ancestors to descendants, sustaining the living and linking them to the past. Indigenous peoples of the Americas often spoke of breath as a gift, something borrowed from the world and returned to it with gratitude. These beliefs reflect a universal intuition that breath is not merely air, but the quiet pulse of being itself. To exhale is to give back a piece of life's mystery, to share spirit with wind and sky. Across every culture and century, the soul's motion has always been written in the language of air. Breath has been used in rituals for healing and calm for millennia. For thousands of years, healers, monks, and shamans have turned to breathing as a tool for restoration. Ancient Greek physicians prescribed controlled breathing for anxiety and pain. In China, Qigong masters used slow breath to circulate energy through the body's channels. Native healers performed rhythmic breathwork during ceremonies, believing that each inhalation drew strength from the earth and each exhalation released sickness into the wind. Today, science confirms that these rituals alter heart rate, brain chemistry, and hormone balance. Deep, rhythmic breathing activates the body's parasympathetic system, slowing stress responses and enhancing clarity. Whether through chanting, sighing, or silent inhalation, these practices share one principle. The breath carries both power and peace. Across history, every tradition that sought healing found it in the same place, in the steady rhythm of the lungs and the timeless calm of air entering the body. Ancient languages linked air, wind, and life in a single word. Before writing separated meaning into parts, people spoke of the world as a unity. In many ancient tongues, a single word described air, wind, and life, as if all were expressions of one force. The Sanskrit word vayu, the Hebrew ruach, and the Greek pneuma all captured this unity. Air was not empty space, but the very fabric of existence, moving through everything that lived. Wind was seen as the breath of the earth, and the human inhale was a reflection of it. When languages later divided these meanings, something subtle was lost. Yet even now, the connection lingers in poetry, in prayer, and in the hush of the wind that feels alive. To speak of the breeze is still to speak of motion, of vitality, of the same current that fills your lungs each time you draw in life itself. In Greek myth, Psyche was the goddess of breath and soul. In the language of myth, breath was not only a force, but a deity. The Greeks personified the soul as Psyche, whose name meant both breath and spirit. She was often shown with butterfly wings, delicate and fleeting, symbolizing the invisible movement of air and the transience of life. Her story told of transformation through love and loss, of death and rebirth into something luminous. Psyche's trials reflected the journey of every breath, taken in, released, and renewed. To the ancients, she embodied the essence of what it meant to live, to feel, to suffer, to change, and yet to continue breathing. Even today, the word psychology carries her name, a reminder that the study of the mind began as the study of the soul's breath. Each inhale you take echoes her myth, the moment spirit moves quietly within the body. In some cultures, the first breath marks the moment of life. In many traditions, birth is not measured by heartbeat or motion, but by breath. A child's first inhale transforms them from part of another body into an independent being. The sound of that first cry is both music and declaration. Life has arrived. Ancient midwives watched for the rising chest as a sacred sign, the instant when the spirit entered. In many faiths, naming ceremonies were delayed until the newborn had breathed, for only then were they considered fully alive. Even in modern medicine, the first breath remains the threshold of existence, the moment when blood, lungs, and heart all unite in a single act of creation. That first gasp, drawn through air that has circled the planet for eons, is the same that fills your lungs now, a continuous thread connecting every living thing that has ever breathed upon this world. Some monks trained to breathe only a few times each minute. Within the stillness of monasteries, devoted practitioners once sought mastery over their own breath. Through years of meditation and discipline, some monks learned to slow their respiration to only a few breaths per minute. Observers recorded them sitting motionless for hours, their chests barely moving, yet their minds alert and serene. This state, known in some traditions as samadhi or perfect absorption, reveals how breath can serve as both gateway and key to inner peace. Modern researchers studying such practices have found that slow breathing stabilizes brain rhythms, enhances oxygen efficiency, and even alters perception of time. To the monks, it was not a performance, but a prayer, a return to the source of life through control of its rhythm. In each prolonged pause between breaths, they found stillness vast enough to hold the whole world. Even silence is filled with the sound of hidden breathing. In the quietest rooms, in the stillest moments, air still moves. If you listen closely, there is always a soft current, the rise and fall of your own breath, the distant hum of another's. Even mountains, forests, and oceans create faint sounds of exchange as wind and water trade gases between earth and sky. Total silence is an illusion, for the world is never without breath. This hidden music is the background of existence, the soft percussion that marks time in every living being. When you notice it, the silence becomes alive, filled with motion too gentle to disturb. The sound of breathing, though easily overlooked, is the purest evidence of life. It is the whisper beneath every heartbeat, the quiet reminder that stillness itself is always in motion. The breath of a forest can change the weather. Forests are not just collections of trees, but immense breathing systems that shape the sky. As leaves release water vapor and oxygen, they create currents that rise and form clouds. These invisible exhalations influence rainfall patterns, cooling temperatures and distributing moisture across continents. When vast areas of forest are cut down, local climates shift, rain diminishes, and winds lose their rhythm. Scientists have found that the Amazon, the Congo, and the great boreal forests of the north act like planetary lungs, exhaling enough vapor to drive weather thousands of miles away. Each tree's tiny breath joins millions of others in a shared act of creation. When you feel a cool breeze after rain, you are feeling the breath of forests carried across the world. A reminder that the balance of the sky depends on the quiet exhalation of green life below. You share air with every creature that has ever lived. Every molecule of air that fills your lungs has existed for billions of years, passing through the bodies of countless beings. The oxygen you breathe may once have been part of a dinosaur's sigh, a whale's exhale, or the gentle breath of an ancient child watching the stars. Air is endlessly recycled, drifting through atmosphere and ocean, through plants and animals, through birth and death and back again. In this shared circulation, all life is connected. You are, quite literally, breathing the same atoms that sustained your ancestors and will one day nourish generations still to come. Each breath is a moment of unity across time, a communion that makes separateness impossible. The next time you inhale, remember that the air within you once belonged to everything that ever lived, and it will continue its journey long after you have released it again. Each breath you take mixes with the winds of the world. When you exhale, your breath joins the vast ocean of air that wraps the planet. Winds carry it across continents and seas, mingling it with storms, clouds, and the breaths of countless others. Within days, molecules that left your lungs may circle the globe, drawn through forests in Africa or frozen into snow high above the Himalayas. The atmosphere is one continuous system, a river of air that knows no borders. It is shared not just among humans, but with every creature and leaf that respires beneath the sun. The thought is both humbling and comforting. Each breath is a contribution to something endless. You are never truly separate from the world, because the very air inside you is the same that swirls around mountains, cities, and stars. Breathing connects you to everything, everywhere, always. The air above you was once deep inside the ocean. The air that sustains you today began its journey long ago in the ancient seas. Early microorganisms known as cyanobacteria learned to use sunlight to split water and release oxygen, filling the oceans with bubbles that eventually reached the sky. Over millions of years, these exhalations transformed the atmosphere, turning Earth from a barren world into one teeming with life. Every breath you take is made of that ancient ocean air, recycled countless times between sea and sky. Even now, plankton drifting at the ocean's surface continues the work, exhaling the same molecules that one day rise into clouds and return as rain. When you breathe, you are part of that endless cycle. Ocean becoming air, air becoming life, life returning to the sea again. In every inhale, the ocean's memory still moves quietly within you. Air currents carry the breath of distant mountains. Mountains exhale like living beings, their slopes breathing out cool drafts at night and drawing in warm air during the day. These shifting currents rise and blend into the atmosphere, joining global winds that travel across oceans and plains. When you stand on a distant shore and feel a breeze, it may carry particles of dust and moisture from faraway peaks. Air connects all landscapes into one continuous motion, an invisible thread binding the highest altitudes to the deepest valleys. As mountains erode, their minerals scatter into the wind, nourishing life in places that will never see their summits. The breath of stone becomes the nourishment of forests and the clarity of the sky. Every gust of wind is a whisper of distant heights, the slow exhale of the Earth's oldest monuments. Breathing is the bridge between body and mind. Within every breath lies a meeting point between thought and flesh. When anxiety rises, breath becomes shallow and fast. When calm returns, it deepens and slows. By changing how you breathe, you can change how you feel. This link between physiology and emotion is ancient and profound. Modern science shows that controlled breathing can quiet the amygdala, the brain's center of fear, and restore balance to the nervous system. In many traditions, breath is the tool that reconnects scattered thought to grounded being. It is the simplest act, yet the most transformative, requiring nothing but awareness. When you notice your breathing, you step back into the present moment, into the harmony of body and consciousness. Breath is not just air, it is the rhythm that unites the physical and the unseen, the steady bridge between what you are and what you experience. Each breath you take is a message between cells. Every inhale delivers oxygen to trillions of microscopic citizens within your body. Each cell receives it as a spark, using it to create the energy that fuels thought, motion, and memory. The waste produced, carbon dioxide, is carried away and exhaled, completing the dialogue. This exchange never stops, a silent conversation written in molecules. The body speaks through breath, signaling its needs and balancing its chemistry in perfect precision. When you breathe deeply, oxygen flows more freely, and the cells respond with vitality. When breath is shallow or tense, that communication falters. Every moment of respiration is a letter written in air, sent from lungs to blood to every corner of being. Your breath is not separate from your biology. It is the language through which life maintains its endless connection to itself. The rhythm of breathing mirrors the rhythm of the universe. Throughout nature, there are patterns that echo one another. Stars expand and contract, tides rise and fall, seasons come and go. In this cosmic rhythm, the act of breathing finds its reflection. Each inhale mirrors creation, the gathering of energy and form. Each exhale reflects release, dissolution, and renewal. Ancient philosophers saw this symmetry as proof that life and the universe share the same pulse. Modern cosmologists describe galaxies themselves as breathing in cycles of collapse and rebirth. When you sit quietly and listen to your breath, you are aligning with that universal motion. It is the same rhythm that moves oceans, planets, and the very fabric of space. Every breath connects you to that endless pattern, a small echo of the vast respiration of existence itself. You begin life with a breath and end it the same way. From the first cry to the final sigh, your entire life is measured in breaths. The first draws you into the world, expanding your lungs and setting your heart to its lifelong rhythm. Each breath that follows sustains every heartbeat, every thought, every word spoken. When your journey ends, the final exhale carries that rhythm away, releasing it back into the air that has always surrounded you. Birth and death are bound by this simple act, the same motion that all living beings share. Across time and species, breath marks the boundary between silence and sound, between being and returning. To live is to breathe, to stop is to rest in the stillness from which all breath once came. The circle of life begins and ends in the same gentle whisper of air. Breathing is the quiet music that keeps you alive. From your first inhale to your last, breath composes the soundtrack of your existence. Its rhythm underlies every heartbeat, every word, every moment of rest. Though it often goes unnoticed, it is always there, a soft melody playing beneath the noise of thought. Listen closely, and you will hear its tempo change with emotion. Quick during excitement, slow in sleep, steady in peace. It is the music of life's persistence, the harmony that holds body and mind together. Each breath is a note in the symphony of being, fleeting yet eternal. When you grow still and feel the air move within you, you are hearing the song that has played since the beginning of time. Breath is not merely survival, it is art, rhythm, and grace. The quiet music that never ends until it fades into silence once more. And now, as the rhythm of this journey begins to fade, you can feel your own breathing settle into quiet harmony once again. The rise and fall of your chest, the soft pull of air through your lungs, the calm weight of the body at rest. Every molecule of air inside you has drifted across oceans, forests, and stars to arrive here in this single peaceful moment. Breathing has always been more than survival. It is a conversation with the universe, an endless exchange between what is within and what is beyond. With every inhale, you draw in the memory of distant lives. With every exhale, you return a piece of yourself to the world. Let your thoughts dissolve like mist. Feel the air slow and deepen, each breath stretching softly into the next. The world outside grows quiet, but the rhythm within remains steady, tender, and alive. If you enjoy these quiet journeys, I invite you to like, subscribe, or share a thought below. It helps others find their way here too, one sleepy soul at a time. For now, just breathe. Let your eyes grow heavy, and let the night cradle your thoughts. Calm, weightless, and free. Good night.